The U.S. Navy's newest submarine took one more step towards service last week as the future USS Idaho entered the water for the first time. Idaho is the latest Virginia-class nuclear attack submarine and joins an underwater force that the Navy can't grow fast enough. Under pressure to respond to China's unprecedented naval expansion and the need to deter two major nuclear adversaries, the Navy is growing its all-nuclear submarine force, even as it sheds an aging, battle-tested fleet and may still need to expand farther than ever before. The submarine, PCU Idaho, is the 26th Virginia-class nuclear-powered attack submarine. The sub, which was built by Electric Boat and Newport News Shipbuilding and took 7 years to complete, was christened in March 2024 in Groton, Connecticut, after its construction was lengthened by COVID-19 and supply chain disruptions. Per tradition, the ship is temporarily designated PCU, or Pre-Commissioning Unit. The ship takes on the USS designation or United States ship once it is commissioned and handed over to the fleet. Idaho is 377 feet long with a beam width of 34 feet. It displaces 7,900 tons underwater, 3 times more than its ancestor, a World War II Gatto-class submarine. A single S-9G, the G stands for General Electric nuclear reactor, drives a pumpjet propulsor instead of a traditional propeller screw, enabling the sub to reach a top speed of 25 knots. Like all nuclear-powered ships, it has virtually unlimited range, its endurance limited only by the ship's food supplies for the 135-person crew. Each has 4 533mm torpedo tubes, the standard torpedo diameter since well before World War II, enabling it to fire Mk. 48 ADCAP heavyweight torpedoes and sub-Harpoon anti-ship cruise missiles. The Navy has slowly improved the Virginia-class over time in a series of blocks, a cost-saving measure over building a completely new boat that started with Block I. Idaho is what is referred to as a Block 4 boat. One improvement introduced with the Block 3 boats is the swapping of 12 individual vertical launch silos, each of which could carry 1 Tomahawk cruise missile, with 2 87-inch diameter Virginia payload tubes, each of which can carry 6 Tomahawk missiles. According to the Navy, the tubes are designed to simplify construction, reduce acquisition costs, and provide for more payload flexibility than the smaller VLS tubes due to their added volume. Idaho will remain pierside as shipyard workers install necessary equipment. According to the USS Idaho Commissioning Committee, she is due to be commissioned into the fleet in spring 2025. Idaho enters the fleet as the U.S. submarine force is about to undergo major changes. Submarines are viewed as a major fleet asset in a potential war with China, capable of crossing the Pacific quickly and taking up station in the Western Pacific. At least one submarine is thought to be in the Philippine Sea at all times. Today, U.S. Pacific Fleet submarines are based in Guam, Washington State, and Hawaii. Under the new Australia-United Kingdom-United States Agreement, U.S. submarines will operate out of Australia by 2027, vastly decreasing the time needed to reach Westpac in a crisis. In the meantime, the U.S. is attempting to grow the submarine fleet as a counter to China's growing navy. Although China's own naval fleet is growing fast, it has no practical experience in anti-submarine warfare, and its submarines are easily a generation, if not 2, behind American subs. Coupled with the submarine's ability to stalk and ambush surface ships, Navy planners believe that America's fleet of Los Angeles, Seawolf, and Virginia-class submarines will punch above their weight in a conflict with China, but there is still a consensus that the fleet must grow fast. Unfortunately, while the submarine fleet will grow, it won't happen fast. By 2030, the Navy anticipates having 48 attack submarines and 12 ballistic missile submarines on hand. By 2040, the Navy will have 56 attack subs and 13 ballistic missile subs. According to the latest projections, Navy won't reach its goal of 66 attack subs until 2054, 30 years from now. Why is the fleet growing so slow? A smaller defense budget is one reason. Defense spending accounts for only 2.7% of the GDP, the lowest since 1999, compared to 5.7% in 1985, at the height of the Cold War, and 8.6% during the Vietnam War. Other factors include a withered industrial base, with fewer shipyards and thus fewer facilities to build submarines, as well as fewer trained workers. American shipyards are also building 3 Virginias for the Royal Australian Navy, which, although the work will detract from the Navy's total, the subs will still go to a fleet strongly allied with the United States and against China. One of the biggest changes to the submarine fleet is the upcoming replacement of the 14 Ohio-class ballistic missile submarines, each of which carries up to 20 Trident 2D5 nuclear-tipped missiles, with 12 new Columbia-class boats, each with 16 Trident II missiles. The first Columbia-class boat, the USS District of Columbia, is expected to be complete by 2027 and begin its first nuclear deterrence patrol in 2031. As more Columbias enter the fleet, the Ohios will retire, with the last Columbia expected to be completed by 2041. There is some question, however, whether 12 submarines will be able to deter both Russia and China, the latter of which is embarking on a major nuclear buildup.